Hey, this is Brian Hatch, CEO and founder of Automate Big, and today's lesson in Marketing Runs Deep is a fun one. What makes you money now versus later? And like always, I want to jump right into it so we can get you what you're after and help your business grow, no matter if you're a starter, if you're already a mover and a shaker and you're making good things happen in your business, or maybe you're working for somebody and you really need to learn the marketing skill sets so that you can level yourself up in the business. That's what we're doing here today. So what makes you money now versus later? The stuff that makes you money right now is ads. And what I'm saying by that is that if you look in your holistic look at your marketing campaigns and efforts, your ads have got to be a part of that. Advertising in some way, shape, or form. I highly recommend using social media. That's the best way to get your word out there in a very targeted way, considering. But there are some pretty cool avenues that are coming up that I'm excited to share in maybe later videos. But either way, your advertising is extremely important to make you money now. You see, if you have a page that is built around getting people to take action, you can actually make things happen right now. Like an opt-in page, you can even have a low price offer. You don't need to be super well known to be able to run ads and make some money. Now, that part of the business is great because I have a business that we just worked with that don't have a bajillion followers by any means, but we're able to run several hundred dollars in ads over just a few days, and we're able to generate hundreds of opt-ins, right? Because the pages we were creating made that work, right? So now we have a lot of opt-ins, right? So what I'm saying is advertising works to make money now because it can get you human beings and conversations now. But a lot of times a lot of people think, oh, well, advertising, that's not what I'm doing now if I'm a starter or if I'm budding business. And that's true. Like you've got your advertising, but you also have other things like referrals, right? So if you are a newer business, even if I know businesses that run millions of dollars through their business, and referrals is the basis of their business, which is fine. But that's another way to be able to make money right now, is to get referrals, to network, to talk to people, and to make it a lasting effect in the lives of the people that you know right now. And that's awesome. Now, the second part of that referral, if you look at it in a very, very specific way, it's affiliates. So there's one thing to say like, hey dude or friend, do you know anybody that could use my product or service? Great. That's helpful, but that's what I'm talking about in the affiliate space. I'm talking about in the affiliates is that you have a program set up that says, hey people that I know, that you know me and you know what I offer, and now here's a way for you to share my message to other people. So there's some assets to create there, right? So I want you to hear that clearly. You're gonna have to create assets in the affiliate now, just like you have to create ads now. But if you create an affiliate partner program right now, that could be a very quick way to be able to make a lot of revenue right now, instead of focusing on every other avenue that people tell you to put out all this social media, all this stuff, right? And so if you have ads running and you have referrals coming in, you make money now. And the affiliate program is a phenomenal way to do that. That's another deeper dive that I will go into later, but it's a way for you to treat everybody that's working with you in a way that you can compensate them for the referrals they're giving you. And it's trackable. Cool? So the next piece of the now, though, that's kind of on the negative side over here is not, you've got ads and affiliates, but it's the organic. It's the shooting the videos like this. It's getting the word out there. It's doing the blogs. It's doing the social media posts. There's kind of a negative side to that. You put out a ton of message, and I know, again, experienced business owners that have $1 million businesses that just haven't focused on their social media platform. And so even then, it's still a little bit of a lift and a harder look because they're already making a lot of money without using social media. But your social media is kind of a bummer in the short term, but I want to tell you how that actually can make itself out for you and your business. But that's kind of the bummer, is you got to put the time and the effort into the pages. If someone goes to your social media handle or your whatever your YouTube channel, your Facebook page, wherever it is, and they see, some videos or some content, well, that's what they're going to understand from you. But if they see lots of content and a lot of valuable, intentional pieces of content that help them, then they're also going to see that and respond appropriately. So just know that's a really good thing for you to look at, is even though it's a bummer now, right? So it's what makes money now. Well, there's stuff that does, there's stuff that's a bummer, but I want to talk about the later part, right? So if we look at the later section, you've got things that actually pan out in the long term. The people that have done the effort of putting, Guys, sometimes we think that the people that are blowing up on social media like just came out of nowhere. Now, there are people that have worked really hard for a year and had great success after a year. I'm not saying that it can't come within a short period of time, but still, it's a year. I don't want you to think of like anybody that's big on social media. They haven't just started in the game like from nothing. They haven't. They might have had a viral video that helped them launch quickly, but everybody I know that makes money after their following, not just has funny videos or a viral video that goes out and gets them some followers. I'm saying people that work with their following to make money. Those are the people that have done the hard labor, usually 3-5 years worth of effort. And so that is the long-term game of the social media. While it's a bummer today, and maybe it's hard to get the videos up and to get all the production going, that's hard, but the long term is really big. Talking to a business owner just this week, and he has thousands of videos professionally produced that are ready to go. And he's been doing that work for years to make that happen. And so I think that that's one thing you have to realize, that there's a negative side, there's a positive side for the long term, right? So how you make money in the long term is you have a following. Like you have an email list. You have like people that are following you consistently, right? So it's those kind of things in the long term. And the other part of that long term that I just mentioned is on the email side is your campaign, your funnel. You have to have a process built. And that's where the automation in Automate Big comes from, is like you want to have a process for the people that follow you so they can go through and learn more from you and obviously buy stuff from you eventually, buy some stuff from you at the beginning, whatever it is. We want them to have a process that goes through so that you can stick with them for a long time and they can stick with you for a long time. That is painful in the beginning as well, because you got to build the pages and you got to make sure you put thought into the content. You can't just like throw something up and expect that everybody's going to like just fall down over themselves to give you their name and their email address or their phone number or pay you for things. You've got to do the effort. But the funnel is one massive lift over the long term. I know plenty of people that like short term, the ads are a way to get leads and opt-ins, but you have to pay that, right? Like that's a way to get people looking at your message. Like I can spend $1,000 getting people to watch my videos, right? In a single day, I can spend $1,000 in one day and get people to see my video. But if there's no funnel behind it, if there's no process to take people through, then that $1,000 that I gave up and gave and paid Facebook or whoever is, then or YouTube or wherever, then it does me no good. And that's why the long-term strategy, I know plenty of people that it looks like on the outside, oh, they're making millions of dollars, but you have no idea that they're going in the hole thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars in the front end because they know their funnel produces millions of dollars for them in the back end. Make sense? So you need to have a funnel, a campaign, a marketing campaign that says when somebody opts in, they get these 3 emails. At the end of that or in the middle of that, we're trying to push them to buy this product. And then from there, we're going to buy another product. And we've talked about this in my step ladder approach if you've looked at that. But note that there is a process for people, and that is a funnel, that is a campaign, there's a formula, as I like to call it, that allows people to go through a really cool process with you. So that is one of the reasons why you want to go look at the long term. Now, the part of that kind of goes down, but not in a negative way, but you don't need it as much, is you don't need those referrals. You don't need the affiliates. You don't need those partnerships. While you'll still want them, you don't need them as much. So that's going to be a level that kind of decreases as your campaign, your funnel, and your organic strategy come together. I hope that makes a little more sense about what you can do to make money now versus later. Now you can get traffic quickly if you have some well-converting pages. Later, you can do a whole lot better if you have a funnel and a formula and a process that takes people through, because if somebody loves what you do, your service you're offering, and you neglect to treat them like they're a part of your family long term, then they might not come back to you, or they might not look at you, or they might not see. And that's the part of the funnel, is you have to have a progress path for everybody coming through you so that they know where to go at that. And so this is another way that you can build out a process for your business that makes a lot of sense and makes you money now and later, but you got to do the heavy lifting now. And that's the big difference that a lot of people aren't willing to admit, and that I want to be able to acknowledge that if you do the work, it's going to come. But you have to put in the effort longer term than you think. And you got to keep digging, you got to keep going. So put in the effort, make it happen, so you can make money now, and you can make money later. And this is just one small way to automate big.